Hello, and welcome back to another episode here on The Bridge Reacts, and I am your host here on this beautiful, warm Saturday. Marcus, I was about to say Sunday. Marcus. I hope you guys are having a great weekend so far. I hope everything is going well with you and your families, your parents, hopefully your children as well. Speaking of children, we're actually talking about, as you can see in the thumbnail, children and children-related issues. I wanted to talk about this for a while on the channel, but I didn't know when to do it. And it was actually going to be when I did that decoding deception a while back. I just wasn't ready to really talk about it just yet. But I found an amazing YouTuber and an amazing video that this YouTuber made, and I wanted to share it with the platform and get your thoughts about it, because main discussion of this episode, just protecting children. We are here to help guide children and make sure they are guided in the right direction so they can have the best tools to heal, learn, grow, to assert themselves, to maybe have some kind of discipline as well, to have some kind of, humbleness, some kind of values, morals, all those great things we are here to instill into children. But there are a few things that we should definitely not instill to children, and they are quite harmful, or appears to be. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Amir Odom is the individual we're talking about, and the video is called Why Trans Kids Are Becoming More Common with Gen Z and Alpha. I'm gonna give my thoughts towards the end. I just wanna go ahead and play this, and I wanna set the record straight that this is not supposed to promote any kind of phobia, any kind of phobias. This is nothing that's supposed to, attack anybody. This is literally specifically just to protect children, and we're here for that. If you're on board for that too, please subscribe, hit the like button, and notification bell as well. Let's get straight to the video. Take it away, Amir.
An 11-year-old trans girl.
My daughter Edie first came out to us as trans when she was 6 years old.
The 6th grader is about to have a tiny medical device implanted in his left arm.
Cut this up.
Jack's dad and mom are at his side.
Oh, jeez, I'm really terrified.
It's just your head.
Hey,
Jack, relax.
Meredith's gonna put some more numbing to make sure that it's all numb, okay?
The implant stops female puberty and will keep Jack from growing breasts.
Why are trans kids becoming more common? In my last video outlining why Gen Z is so gay, I literally was talking about gay, like the LGB. Now when it comes to the TQ plus side of things, especially regarding Gen Z and Gen Alpha, that's a whole nother story. In this video, we're going to watch and react to trans kids, and what you'll quickly find is that they all have something in common that will explain probably why it's on the rise. We just jump right into it. What you'll find is that a lot of it has to do with the parents. Like, a lot of it is this attention-seeking parents that are pushing this trans ideology on their children. And it's sad. It honestly is sad, because it's like, just let your child be a child. Like, it's okay. If your child likes doing a little girly things here and there, then whatever. If the child likes doing guy things, it's fine. They're literally erasing what it means to be like a tomboy or a tomgirl. But even then, why are you imposing?
Had some close people in my lives, when just kind of pause it for a second. Close people in my lives who I know and hold close to my heart as well. They grew up as, tomboy, tomgirl, 100% agree with what Amir is saying. I mean, that's why I'm gonna let the video just play instead of interjecting so much in this video. Just let the kids literally just be children. Go ahead, Amir.
That your child's trans that early on. That makes no sense to me. Nor do I think it's okay, or that it should be right, or hell, even legal to transition your child in that way. Much like another video I did talking about child drag queens, when you're transitioning your child, you're leading them down a path that ultimately goes to irreversible change.
An 11-year-old trans girl made history on Saturday as the youngest ever Grand Marshal of the Orlando Pride Parade.
See, I don't think children should be at Pride. I really don't. I don't think children should be at Pride festivals, because 9 times out of 10, it's very inappropriate, very sexualized, and it's just not a place for children to be.
Of October, Dempsey Jara rode in a convertible through.
And just to keep with that thought, that line of thinking, let's just keep it completely like across the board, like nothing sexual at all, like promoting even heterosexual sex to children. I think just let children be children. Let them play with, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, toys. I guess hopefully not too many iPads. Go outside and just, climb a tree or something. Just do kids, use your imagination. Like, because I wish I had that same imagination now as an adult as I had as a kid. So it's like, just let them leave them alone. Just protect them and keep them away from anything that's showing like graphic or like sexual desires, kinks, whatever. I don't think a child should even look at or watch two people making out. I think that even if it's a heterosexual couple, it doesn't matter. It's just like they shouldn't, like, why are you showing
the city center for Orlando's Come Out with Pride festival. She told reporters she would continue standing tall despite the recent wave of anti-LGBTQ plus laws in Florida.
And see, that annoys me too when they're like the anti-LGBTQ plus laws. No, sweetie, they're anti-TQ plus. Not even anti-TQ plus. Really, it just goes down to allowing kids to be kids, because when you're 18 and up, you can do whatever you want. So if we're gonna destruct this whole anti-LGBTQ movement, it has nothing to do with the LGB, the lesbians, the gays, and the bis, has nothing to do with them. The TQ plus, it does have to do with them, but it has to do with the minors. Because when you're an adult, you do whatever you want.
Posting to Instagram, she said, "Yesterday was the best day of my life. It's not easy to be a constant target of hate, but I remain visible because I want other trans kids to know there is such joy in being your authentic self." Dempsey told reporters at the event, "It's about being true to myself. It's about embracing who I am even when the world tries to tell me otherwise."
And let these kids be kids. Get that kid off of social media and just let the kid just go outside and have fun. But instead, you got this kid on social media having...
Should kids even be on social media in the first place? No. That's the correct answer, because there's so much crap on social, bro. You literally cannot go anywhere without seeing something that's, and I've known that since I was like a kid. It's 2024 now. I was born in the mid 90s, so it's like it's even worse now. So TikTok, Instagram, even YouTube Kids, bro, like everything has some kind of like weird shit in it now. Like, it's just like maybe kids shouldn't even have social media at all, and I'm just being real.
Having a whole page, being a grand marshal at a pride parade because they're a trans star, as if a kid's ever gonna like just leave all that, you know? Like, you know how impressionable kids are, and that's why we protect them. That's why we don't say that they can give consent to certain things. Like, a child can't smoke, they can't drink, they can't vote, they can't get a tattoo. All these things children can't do. They can't consent to sex because they're minors. And we know that they are not able to make mature decisions like this. And transitioning is one that is very serious.
Me too.
That's a big reason why trans kids are on the rise, and why you do see some parents of trans kids being very vocal in protecting that, because it's making them a crap ton of money. Millions of followers grifting on that they have a trans child, constantly making content with the child, constantly just again pushing this ideology on them. And it's so weird to me because there's some things that we protect and then there's something that we don't. Like, if I get word that my neighbor is abusing their child, locking them in the basement or beating them, a parent can go to jail and get in trouble. But if I say, hey, this parent is like manipulating their child and like putting them down a path that's ultimately going to lead to...
You're transphobic.
I don't understand how I'm even talking about this. I don't understand how I'm talking about this. I don't like making trans kids content. I make it because I want people to know that it's real. I want people to you know, watch this content and be like, wait a minute, I kind of changed my opinion on that. I'm not really vibing with that, in order to protect the children. Because 9 times out of 10, the people that are against it have nothing really wrong with trans people. They may not like what they do, but they understand that it's a free country and they can do whatever they want to do. But when it comes to minors, like I've always said before, that's when it all changes.
Little nonsense is what I need.
After Eddie's first gender therapy appointment. Am I the only one that's dumbfounded by this? I can't be.
No.
Transitioning your kids, having them go through gender therapy appointments and reaffirm who they are. And this is going to be one of those things that we look back in 100 years and say that was completely wrong. At what point?
Lobotomies, cigarettes, social media. This
feels like mental gymnastics. I feel like I'm going crazy. I genuinely do. To try to unpack why some parents just think it's normal and okay to take what? Let's go back to this last video. Yeah, the kid was none but 3 or 4 and you're already were transitioning it. Like, to me, this is child abuse. Like, this is equivalent to beating your child. Because like I said before,
Worse.
it's leading them down a path to ultimately transition and to ultimately go through with these things.
Quick, what's the last thing you remember at the age of 3? Can you recall anything at the age of 3?
And it's life-altering and life-changing procedures, especially if you start younger with, you know, double mastectomies and all the puberty blockers. But this goes down a very expensive and very dangerous route fast, because even in that video what we saw is them allowing the kid to be way more feminine, really encouraging it, buying them all these things, pushing it, and then now the kid is saying that kid came out as trans and now it's a she, and going to gender therapy appointments. Like, are we not going to listen to the people who have detransitioned? Are we not going to pay attention to the people who actually regret transitioning to begin?
No, the other side of the spectrum. We want to glorify and talk about all the great things that do happen for this community, and like how, you know, it has saved lives. Apparently it's done so much for, you know, they were using like the fear-mongering tactic of saying, like, would you rather have a live daughter or a son? To fear-monger like the parents. And I think that's a big part of that. Like, a lot of parents feel like they have to do this or they are going to socially be unaccepted by, you know, the rest of the group, their peers, other parents, maybe their careers, because you are being a transphobic individual and you won't allow your child to potentially mutilate themselves chemically or physically. And that's the whole thing, man. Like, once again, if you are an adult, and I get it, like, we are all going through a human experience. I don't know what your experience is like as the viewer, and in your shoes. You don't know how it's like to be me, Marcus on the bridge. You have no idea. Then again, we can all relate that we are humans going through the human experience. We're just a different expression of this universe. We are all one. Consciously, I'm getting really like philosophical, but we are all one in this consciousness. But it's like some individuals, bro, it's hard for me to really even articulate. I'm trying to do this all in one take. I don't want to redo this. I just want to be authentic as much as I can, but I'm probably just going to get to my final thoughts. This video is getting too long now.
With, especially as a child. Are we just going to ignore the amount of detransitioners and the amount of trans adults who talk about how much of a financial burden that this procedure is, and how lifelong prescription to medicines and pills and even like diseases that can come up and more medical crises? Like, no one's considering or thinking about that. From the surgeries to the medicine, it all costs a ton of money.
Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and just, you know, we'll get to my final thoughts and just kind of, you know, finish this up. But I really want to have an actual like serious conversation. All jokes aside, I try to make this video a lot more serious than a lot of other videos, because this is literally our future as a species. Like, these are our children at the end of the day. And who do our children look up to the most? Individuals who seem to have it all there. And there are a lot of adults that they just don't have it all there. And there could be a lot of trauma. There could be a lot of like pain and suffering from like prior experience in an adult's life. Now they have a child and they have this world narrative, this very worldly kind of ideology and stuff like that now, right? And they might just feel pressured into accepting versus challenging, because if you challenge certain things like this, it is extremely frowned upon and you will literally be crucified financially, socially. It's pretty horrific. And the sad part is that we will look back truly and see how bad of a mistake we truly have made. It is egregious of what we have done. And I'm not gonna say we as in like I'm a part of this, but we as a species of people have done to our own people and our own children. And this is just another tick on that list of what we've done to our own children. That is just, it's fucked up at the end of the day. I want your thoughts about the whole topic of, you know, trans ideology when it comes to kids. Let's leave it there at kids, because we can go pretty far with that. I'm leaving it at the children once again, because that's where I absolutely cannot. I can't budge at that. I have to draw the line there. I can go on forever about this, and I need to edit this video so I can provide this content for you guys. Again, I just want you to tell me what you think about this, leaving it at the kids. How do you feel about, you know, the trans kids movement and activism and stuff like that, CRTs or hormone blockers and the lies of them being reversible and all this other stuff? Tell me what you think.
Kiddo who is just starting puberty and panicking because they're getting breast buds or their penis is getting bigger and busier, and they're worried about all kinds of masculine changes. And that way, puberty blockers, which are completely reversible and don't have permanent effects, are wonderful because we can put that pause on puberty. Just like if you were listening to music, you put the pause on and we stop the blockers and puberty would go right back to where it was. The next note in the song just delayed that period of time.
And do you think this is actually serving kids, or is it actually harming the children? And I might make a part 2 to this, but you guys have a nice one. Stay safe, protect your children, protect your loved ones, do your own research, and let's just make sure that the kids are safe, man. They need us, and that's real.